Is that on?
It's not on YouTube, it's just like.
Okay. Oh, it's
we record it and then we upload it.
So we'll call the meeting to order. The agenda was circulated in your package. So do you have any additions to the agenda you want to talk about tonight? Other than what was circulated? Hearing none, we'll approve the agenda as presented.
I'd like to make motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Contrary minded, carries. So then there's the previous minutes. They were circulated in the package. And we need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of our August 12th, 2024 meeting.
I'll second that.
Should we give an update? Have we made a decision on the hockey association fees?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, we'll talk about the minutes after we approve.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. I did that last week too.
Yeah,
So, so we'll have a motion to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded. Now, any business arising from the minutes?
Right.
Any updates?
Just to question the name of the
Yes.
About the hockey association
Well-
icing.
Yeah, because I had sent an email to everyone, so you did, was in agreement, and everyone that I heard back from was, so. Yeah.
So I think that issue's been solved.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And,
We knew you had. We didn't know if the audience was.
Yeah,
The
so-
audience,
yeah.
the audience does not know, but now they do.
To clarify, will be
Yeah,
now
no,
the
we
same.
are recording it.
So the association is aware of.
I let them know, yeah. They were very appreciative, yes.
Yeah, that's good.
just one update from we had a UMNB, I think, this meeting, August 15th. So they re-elected the two zone directors, or Mayor Trina Jones from Woodstock and Councillor Tammy McPhail from Southern Victoria. So that was pretty straightforward, and that meeting's in October, right in the middle of harvest. But anyway, it's in October. That'll be a really good meeting going on in the province. So that's all any other updates from the minutes?
I see we just got a reply from the Bright Mountain questions. Are we posting any of that stuff or putting it out there so everybody else can see it? Who was all involved in the email?
I've never seen an email.
I've never seen an email
I
either.
didn't see it.
There was 4 today, I think, coming back to council.
For
It was just a
Just
five.
responses to.
This was coming back to, it looked like everybody, 27, 30 some people. It must have been everybody.
Yeah, all the council, our council, and I think,
I never received it.
yeah, you never seen them? They just come through there's a whole bunch of them come through there about
It's like
4:30.
459.
Are you on that list? So,
There's only Karen, like it wasn't all of us. One email Scott sent me, I wasn't on it.
Okay.
And Mike, maybe, there was a couple of us missing.
but on that general point, to Ryan's point, should we share that with who?
With, like, if we post it on our social media, so people in the public that are asking questions have it? Is that something that we,
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know.
I know there, I mean, it's,
But who's asking
most
the
of us,
questions?
well, most of us will do meetings, and there's a lot of heated, passionate conversation about it and concerns about it. And a lot of these questions were answered. I don't know.
So your
But
question,
did you ask the question?
No, the questions have been sent in through to JDI on emails.
And does JDI not put that on their website? I believe they were posting everything, were they not?
They said that they were going to post the frequently asked questions. I don't know if that means every question. But I think probably, I'm guessing the ones that have asked it are part of that Facebook group, but I don't know.
I think,
I didn't get a chance to look through that.
I haven't read
So-
it.
I just came in at 5 o'clock.
Can you forward that to me, Ryan? Could you forward the emails to me?
so to Ryan's point, it's a good point. What level should the town or the municipality, District of Carleton North be involved in, you know, dispersing the information? We can repeat the information, but it's information that's out in the public domain. And the questions that JDI answered there, they were really, I read them quickly, but they were really detailed answers. And, you know, is there a role for us to do that or not? So we can have a discussion about that a little bit more, and I think tomorrow, we'll have a discussion on that.
It just might give the public, like he's saying, easier access to it if we just post it there on ours.
Well, it might also look like we're not trying to hide.
Yeah.
But
We're
we
not
post,
trying to hide anything, we
Yeah.
don't know anything. They know
I
as
know
much as we do.
some of the,
It's been alluded that perhaps we're
Yeah.
trying to hide something.
but if
Yeah,
we
well, that's
post,
close-mindedness.
but to be fair, if we post the answers to certain questions that go to JDI and the proponent goes back to that person asking the question, and we miss, then we're getting into the middle of that discussion. And do we miss one, then what happens? And do we offer alternative viewpoints to those questions? And like, there's a bunch of things that we need to understand, I think, better, what our role is. And, you know, anyway, we can have that discussion. It's a good point. But can we table that discussion for a day or two?
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So anything else on the motion on these minutes? So good. So we'll move on. Next item was presentations. There's none. And then the correspondence. There's one on the state of primary health care in Carleton, Victoria. And I'll have the deputy mayor read this.
So this letter is from the New Brunswick Medical Society dated August 21st, 2024. The letter went to Mayor Trina Jones, Mayor Andrew Harvey, Mayor Tracy DeMerchant, Mayor Susan McLaughlin, and Mayor Tom Eagles. Dear Mayor Jones, Harvey, DeMerchant, McLaughlin, and Eagles, I'm writing to you as the President of the New Brunswick Medical Society to express concern regarding the state of primary care in Carleton County. The NBMS has analyzed primary care access across New Brunswick, and our data shows that your community is at risk, considering the demographics of both patients and providers. This issue is already impacting the quality of healthcare services available in your community. And according to our data, the situation will only get worse without significant and coordinated action by stakeholders, communities, regional health authorities, and government. Carleton County has 33 active family physicians, with 69%, 23 out of 33, over the age of 50. In 2023-2024, these 23 doctors cared for 24,512 patients. The age breakdown: 7 are in their 70s, 9 in their 60s, and 7 in their 50s. The data presents a stark reality. If physicians over the age of 55 choose to retire within the next 3 to 5 years, possibility that could materialize at any moment, primary care in Carleton County will be at risk of collapsing. Recruitment alone won't solve this problem. New physicians take time to onboard and traditionally take on smaller practices, so supporting and retaining our current workforce is crucial to allow for this transition. We must invest in expanding and build on existing family practices and clinics so they can be modernized and ready to be passed on to future generations of primary care providers. Despite our efforts, government has not yet made this a priority. Would you be willing to partner with our organization to host a community forum with local physicians and stakeholders ahead of the upcoming provincial election? We could discuss proven solutions to help shape the debate on New Brunswick's primary care future. NBMS staff can present data and best practices that have worked in other areas. With your leadership and collaboration from our regional health authorities and local leaders, I'm confident we can find viable solutions to this pressing issue. If this is of an interest to your community, please have your team reach out to and we can coordinate the steps. Thank you for attention to this matter. Sincerely, Dr. Paula Keating, President of New Brunswick Medical Society.
Thank you. And I'll just give you an update on this. So last week when we received this letter, I talked to our CAO. We responded with the letter that we would be interested in assisting in hosting this meeting in the valley, in the region, and because we're kind of centrally located, and we offered, I mean, we definitely want to participate in this meeting. So we sent that letter back. The other thing I sent back, and I just got the response at 4 o'clock today, so I'll send that to council in the morning, the email response. So just on that, just a point of correction, they refer to Carleton County here all the time, but it's Carleton, Victoria, so that it has 33 active family physicians, and et cetera, so it's always Carleton, Victoria, and that's why the other two mayors, of course, of Southern Victoria, Toilet Valley, are part of this, right? So that's just a correction. So I did reach out, talk to the mayor of Toilet Valley, and Woodstock definitely wanted to participate. So when we sent that back, we just said we were really willing to host it, and then she just came back to us today at 4 o'clock that they would want to do that with us. So Amy and I had a chat, and we just had brought Gabby in, and Gabby's going to work with this lady to coordinate with us. And we suggested no later than 3 weeks, the week of the 16th and 20th, because as you know, there's going to be an election called right around that time, and for the 21st of October, and you know, it'll be a political question for all the political parties, right? But at the same time, they want to come present the facts and how they, in the data, as they mentioned in their letter, best practices and other things that work in other areas. So anyway, that's where that is. So they have good data, good rationales. So any other questions on that or comments? So I guess as an action item, that's already been actioned. I'll send that to you tomorrow morning with an email. Next item is bylaws and policies. Nothing on the agenda. So next item is new business. It's a property for sale inquiry. And I'm just going to turn this. You want to take this and just explain it in a little bit more detail?
Yeah, sure. So we had someone come to the office and inquire about a piece of property that the district owns in Centreville, and we'd be willing to sell it. And so we reached out to a local real estate agent to give us like an indication of possibly sell it for people who wanted to do that. So that information is available in your package. If you look at the map, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little piece of property that's adjacent right beside that property that's also for sale. It's much smaller and it's for sale by somebody else, but it's a property that is just adjacent to ours that's already for sale. So someone was asking if we would be willing to sell this piece of land. So the real estate agent said that she would probably list around $29,900 if we decided to do that, but obviously have to be further discussion.
So this property was deeded to the former village of Centreville by the state of Rowley Perry back in 2022. And that's the L-shaped property and it's ending in 600 PID. So that's roughly more or less 1.5 acres, and it's wooded. And the other property that we had the inquiry about buying, not that property, but it's owned by a lady in Bristol, Pam Everett. So there was somebody inquiring about that property is not quite big enough to build on. They could get a variance.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's an existing pit.
Yeah, so they could get a variance, but they'd have to go through that process of getting a variance. So really, we don't have to do anything. It's up to them. But they came to us to see if they could buy some of the property that the town owns. And we can't sell anything unless we want to sell it, or unless we have to put it up to tender. Obviously, because somebody else might want it, whatever. So that's the gist of that. And Amy did some research got some information from the real estate agent for what it might be worth if we wanted to sell it. Because we wouldn't just sell the frontage, because sell the whole lot if we want to sell it.
And where, is it in the village
Yeah.
limits?
So, yeah, it's going up the, I call it Lakeville Hill, that they just paved, going up
Yes.
the hill on your right-hand side. And that's, it's a lot, and it's right before where Lindsay McLeod lives. Just sheep's up a little further on the right, Lindsay, you know, where they live, yeah, Carleton, yeah. So it's just before that, there's, and that's, it was just deeded to the village here 2 years ago. And we didn't know we owned it, so we just.
So it's about 1.5 acres, and the other one's 1/8 of an acre.
Yeah, that's right.
They could build on that lot that's for sale because it's 600, I looked it up, like
Yeah.
620 or something.
So is it connected to the town sewer? Could it be
Yes.
connected to the town sewer?
Yeah.
Could it be possibly a piece of real estate you'd want to look at for housing development?
Would be if you owned that
Could be.
little piece in the front of it, too, would be. If you want to purchase the $12,000 piece, it would be a lot more than it'd be. A little better than they would have. Depends on the yellow.
It's here.
Oh, it's here.
You shut off your limit.
No, I just, yeah, so we don't have to do anything, that's one choice. Second choice is we could sell that piece that we own, or the third choice is we could go back and say, we'll buy the little piece that's stranded and offer them a little ball number, but that's up to the discussion. So that's, we just felt we needed to bring it forward because it was brought to our attention in the office.
Would we have to have that little piece in order to develop it?
Well,
You wouldn't have to, but there's only 20 meters of frontage on that bigger piece.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you're supposed to have 23, and if you're going to build a development, you probably would not want to. If you want to put a 4-unit apartment building there, or 6, you probably want to go full 23, or I would think. You'd get variance, I'm sure. Would you want someone to build a house in front of you?
Yeah.
Is it a side hill? Maybe
It's a side
isn't.
hill.
I've never,
Okay.
I know what you mean, well, on the hill.
So the other thing, we can table it and get, and if you give Amy some direction, we can get more options, or whatever these guys decide. Or we don't do anything. Is he coming back this
And
time?
have some discussion,
Let's table it for the next.
and have some discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See, at least look at it, or have, and see whether it is developable.
yeah. Okay, let's get some more information, see if it is of the value that may be there, right? So, okay. That's good. And then we have a meeting September 10th. So we can have a discussion. Okay, so next item is a street sign request on Centreville Road. You want to do that one too? Well, they came to our office and
we received a request to put a no engine brake sign right by the exit 153 restaurant on the Centreville Road because of noise pollution from the big trucks that are going by there.
yeah.
Was there one there at one point?
There was one, Mike, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I thought that there was one on a sign and it kind of got damaged and you couldn't read it anymore. Like, I don't know where it was in that location, but there had been one there previously.
We could line that road with signs, it's not enforceable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not enforceable. The police are not going to enforce it, no one's going to enforce that. It's not something that can be enforced.
And if you're coming down through there, and I drive traffic trailer, and if you're coming down through there, that's quite a little hill right there.
You have 125,000 pounds behind you on a trailer that you're trying to stop because somebody's in front of you pulling into
Coming out of
BMR.
that little
And
drop
if
down
you
there.
hold your brakes on, they get hot. It will destroy your brakes.
Cost you
And
15 grand to reline.
right, it's a hill. It's a hill.
It's a bad spot there
It
because
is
you've
a
got
bad
people
spot.
trying to go into like the
Exit
foresty
BMR.
place, and then
BMR.
there's BMR, there's X153, there's Potato World. It's really bad right there. Like, I've almost had accidents there before.
And then there's always someone coming out of that little road there, it's on the right-hand side when you're coming down the
Yes.
hill. There's always someone saying, well, I can get out in front of that traffic,
Oh, yeah.
very easy.
Yeah.
Or a car.
And this is on a provincial road, so we
We'll
have
have
to
to-
get their permission.
Yeah,
sign.
yeah, we can put a sign up in this area.
Yeah, this isn't a road coming into our,
We have,
you know,
They don't.
But I know now in the village, the old village of Bristol, there were signs put up, no
On
engine,
the 130,
no engine brakes
on
on
the
the
130 coming into
130.
Lawrenceville, there is too.
Yeah,
And on the Cloverleaf coming off the bridges, this was dealt, we had issues with this before, we put them out and see if they do anything.
if you need to slow down, you gotta throw your Jake.
Well, and the sad part is when somebody sees that sign, they throw the Jake on regardless.
I don't know if I agree with that,
I don't know.
They said, well, some people said it got worse after the signs up.
but, yeah.
they don't pay attention.
I don't throw it on unless I need to have to slow down. And, sometimes if someone is pulled out or whatever, sometimes whether there's a sign there or not, you're gonna use it. I'd like to think people weren't throwing it on just for the hell of it.
So what does it hurt us to put them up?
Just the cost of putting them up and maintaining them.
yes.
And I don't know if we can put a sign on the conventional highway, can
We
we?
have to
Yeah, we have to get
get
permission from the provincial government.
It's already up now.
Oh, there's a sign by the 153?
So, no, but there's a sign up on the 130 right now, up by the Burn Road. By
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Lovely something.
Lovely
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And there's one in the turn too, coming off the bridge.
There's one there right there just as you come on the bridge, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, the governor,
That's when I flip, okay, right there, once I see that.
What was that?
obviously, it's already been granted that we're able to put a sign down.
You have to request each one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Each location has to be requested.
I know there's one on the 107 coming into Bristol. So coming into town, you're obviously going downhill. That's where the river is. And we can request that they put one there, or we would put it there with their permission, if that's what council wants.
Find out what.
I'm not
does it
opposed to you
cost?
putting a
Yeah,
sign
what
up.
does it
It's
cost?
just
Cost of the
to get
sign.
To Taylor's point,
Yeah.
It's not enforceable.
if you, and if there is some credibility to the fact they turned on more often, you know, maybe you just, and then maybe individuals can do that.
And maybe when the signs come up, they start paying attention more.
Could be.
Realize, why don't we find out what the cost is and come back to the next meeting and then the protocol of comments.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So cost and protocol. Okay?
Yep.
So we'll just put that on the list. So next item is, item number 3 is job posting for public safety manager. So that was circulated in your package. So we can have a discussion on this. And I'll start off. So in the original organizational chart in the district of Carleton Moore started, there was this position, but it wasn't at a manager level, it was a director level. And we didn't, at that time, we didn't fill it, obviously, because it was low on the list of our priorities for human HR. But now that things have settled down, I believe this is a job that's essential for the town at a manager level, like at that. And for a number of reasons, and I'll give you my reasons. These responsibilities, so this year we have a contract with Al Downing he's doing a fire consultant, working with a committee. His project is done December 31st. He's done it after 1 year. And that's going really well, but there's no continuity after that, so it all falls back to the CAO in terms of working with the fire departments not a daily basis, but on a weekly basis. So that's one issue, is fire service. The other issue is police service, which we don't know where that's going, but down the road, there could be some benefits coming from that, discussions that we had. And the other area is animal control. In January, our contract is up with the province for animal control. And now we also have 3 contracts for the municipalities with SPCA. And the total cost of those are $21,000 and change. I see this person answering those issues much more effectively and cost efficiently than spending $21,000 on animal control.
And that's a 1-year contract of 21,000.
Yes, it's a 1-year contract. Well, it's a 1-year cost.
Yeah, 1 year.
And the next item is emergency measures, which we've had some discussions on that and advancing the EMO plan and talking with public safety on cooling and warming centers and et cetera. But the biggest one, in my opinion, after fire service is bylaw enforcement. We're behind on the ball, in my opinion, with bylaw enforcement, and it's not just unsightly premises, it's everything. But it is unsightly premises, but we've made some great gains, and we've served some notices, and we've done this, but it's not going to get any better. And the bylaw enforcement, it's very detailed in what the protocols are. So that's another position, part of this position I think is crucial. And then the last one is solid waste and recycling.
That's done by the RC.
No, well, no, but we need to get more consistent with our solid waste. That we have a meeting tomorrow with on apartment buildings, what's eligible for collection, disposal costs, what's in our future in terms of collection, because that's something the council will have to start thinking about for 2 years down the road in terms of cost of collection, and just generally what are the strategies involved with solid waste in terms of reduction, reusing, recycling, and all those types of things. So it's not a full-time job, but if you add all these things together, it's everything that I just mentioned, our CAO is doing, and it's a tremendous amount of work, and we need to, in my opinion, give that responsibility directly to somebody, just one person working in our office that reports to our CAO that the day-to-day stuff of this can be done by them. So I just think it's crucial that we do that, and we're open for discussion on timing, or if the council wants to do that at all. But I think it's crucial that we do that.
Okay, do we currently have any public safety staff?
No.
No. None.
She-
Zero.
She's doing it. I said she, but I
We have
was.
no one that works in public safety?
No, we have bylaw enforcement
Where
officers.
is our,
We have 2 bylaw enforcement officers, which are Adam and Josh. who
oh, so
both-
you have to.
Well, they do bylaw
But we
enforcement,
have-
but that's all they do. They don't do anything else. They just do bylaw enforcement.
So we have 2 people that are bylaw enforcement officers that we're paying substantial money to, that their day jobs is not bylaw enforcement officers. It's looking after the town, public works, and operations and facilities. And I just think they're just filling in, doing it. I mean, our public works manager, we ask him to do anything, he'll do it. But to answer your question, Sheila, they do it in the interim. They're doing it.
Yeah, when we decided not to fill that position last year, we decided we better have Sheldera was going to be one, and Adam and Josh were the 3 that we had. For example, 2 weeks ago, they went to Juniper and spent the day, probably to check out unsightly premises, and probably their time would have been better spent at their day. I know it's part of their day job, part of the description because they signed on for it, but there were probably other things that they could be doing with their time if we had someone at a managerial level. And not just, that's not the only thing.
How many bylaw infractions are there actually happening?
They went and investigated 9 or 8.
That's just in Juniper, and that's just dangerous and unsightly premises. Now, we're still working on trying to repeal all the old bylaws and have District of Carleton North bylaws, which is a huge undertaking, because you've got bylaws for Centreville and Bath and Florence and Bristol that have to be amalgamated together into one. So we're slowly trying to do that, but it's very tedious, because there's a lot of stuff that you have to make sure you have in your bylaws for reasons, many reasons, and it's very tedious.
And
So
this
is this
would be the
something this
primary
person will
job.
do?
Yes, this person, if this
So this person
person,
will do the bylaws?
yes, this person will, because the people, I can write a bylaw, but I'm not the one enforcing it. So the person that's enforcing the bylaw needs to be the one to write the bylaw and understand it from start to finish, because they'd be the one that would be responsible for it. So it could be a noise bylaw, it could be the
Could be a fire ban
animal control
bylaw.
bylaw, it could be any bylaw.
But this would be a small part of this position. This position's also going to step in and do some of the things that Al Downey's been doing for us under contract.
Yeah, all that.
That's correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so this can just a supplemental. I think they're going to end up wearing 3 or 4 hats.
well, you can, but it's not a full-time job for one particular task.
That's right.
But if you fire service, police service, bylaws,
SPCA covering
animal control, and solid waste and recycling, all those things aren't really being looked after by a staff person today. And it's the missing piece, in my opinion, of where we should go with our HR structure.
So is putting this many things on one person too much? Are we gonna?
No,
are they gonna-
I don't think it is, because it's, like Mayor Harvey said, it's not a full-time job for each one of these. Like there's, like to Councillor Watson's point, bylaw enforcement, is there enough work for bylaw enforcement? No. Is there enough work for animal control? No. Is there enough work for the fire department? EMO? Like there's, with all of this together, it will be enough.
Now, we have something in here about EMO plans. Did we not have someone working on an EMO plan? Was that not supposed to be?
Yes, our EMO plan is done.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But this is to carry on the EMO. So, to get together with EMO to make, to have functions, like, there's
It'll be establishing water cooling zone, water. like-
Yeah, that's what it says.
Your EMO will change as per whatever hazard happens.
so I know they do disaster plans, like, so I mean, they'd be the ones organizing that, helping organize.
Yeah, and your EMO plan is, to Trina's point, is continuous. It's not, you have a plan, but it evolves. And we're working with Chief Andrew Kugel's the point person for the fire chiefs, I think, on that. So, but this person was working with the fire chiefs on fire service, but also EMO and other things with the fire service. And the communities with the cooling center and warming centers. We just got another email today from about the cooling and warming centers. There's financial assistance there from RDC up to 40% for communities to access generators and to upgrade their buildings for to serve as a warming or cooling center.
Can they access that through?
What's that?
Can they access that through the community centers themselves, through the not-for-profits? Or do they have to go through us?
No, they don't have to go through us.
Okay.
But we're just going to get that out to them tomorrow because we just got it today. But we can access that money too for if we're thinking about a warming, cooling center on a bigger scale, whether it's the Daisy Center or the multiplex. Or
Is there a generator to this building?
No.
No.
So
Set up for it.
Okay, we're off topic.
Mike, you know if it's set up for it here?
Pardon me?
Is it set up to have a generator set in here?
I wouldn't have a clue what.
So anyway,
Back to our public
back to
safety
this.
manager.
Yeah, we're back to the manager. I'm just saying some of these are examples that they would dive into. But yeah, so that's where we're at with this potential position, and it doesn't have to start. But we think we should advertise for it, and not to fill it just for the sake of filming, but find the right person, like at the time.
Yeah, you
You're
definitely
gonna
need-
have
And
the
it
right
has to be the right
Because
person.
they
with the right
wear
time.
all hats. Now, they're not full-time jobs, none of them. The fire and the EMO, probably gonna take
It's
a lot
gonna
of
take a lot of time.
But the
Yeah.
dog collection
FCC is
and
very good.
bylaw
Bylaws
enforcement is gonna, but lesser so than the fire. Especially if we
Bylaws
take on.
also would be your biggest,
It does.
Yes,
if
when?
there's some more bylaws we pass.
Yes.
Those enforcement stuff.
When they get done, yeah.
And once you start getting court dates and proceedings, it's time consuming.
So we like to, our CEO's got a description which is very detailed, and we like to be able to advertise for it, and then, like I said, just make sure that eventually, there's no timeline in it, they have to be there by October 1st or October 15th or November 1st, but it's something we should have a discussion about the timing of when the person could come into play, but definitely January the 1st when we set our budget for next year, we can budget for this position.
Well, I assume they could take over, for example, our CAO has been looking into an out-of-province individual, and that's taken up some of your time to deal with back and
Yes.
forth. And I'm going to assume that could be taken from your plate.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's ate up way too much time for one case.
And I can not honestly, say truthfully, on any given day, there's 50 to 100 things that just pop up, like literally pop up with our CAO, and managing our staff and managing overall without managing certain files. That these are all files that, like we have a solid waste committee meeting in the morning, or not a committee, but a meeting, because we have to deal with these apartments. We've got to come back to council with some direction as we budget for next year. And we got complaints from certain apartment owners that are treated differently. And it's really unfair how we're treated on the cost of collection. Anyway, we're having our first meeting on that tomorrow, and Josh will be there.
Yep.
But then we can start gathering positions that come back to council and say, well, what do you think about if we go this way or this way? And what's going to mean in terms of cost of collection and the whole apartment building type of scenario. So anyway, long story short, there's just a lot of material that comes on a daily basis, and I think it's a good move if we go down this road. So we kind of need a motion. I'd like to have a motion from council and we can have more discussion here. It's like, this is not and if you see something that you want to add to the job description, you can always convey that to our CAO.
Oh, it was fairly comprehensive.
I mean, we're just advertising, we're not hiring someone.
Yeah.
We're just advertising the job.
Okay,
We
good.
don't have to have a motion to advertise the job, do we?
Well, it's a new job, and it's up to council.
That's budget up that way.
As far as starting in January, it would be, we have that 21,000 for the SPCA for next year. As far
Yeah,
as
well,
so that's.
and if we could bring him in a little bit sooner, but I just want to make sure that we transition on, especially on the fire service, because we're making really good progress with the chiefs and
Oh,
everything.
you would like him in before Al's?
Potentially in November,
It'd be
December,
good
but
if they could have conversations
that's just a
together
month or
prior
two, or
Yeah.
month and a half. But we got the first thing you would do is
I
advertise.
think that's too soon, you have to advertise it at least a month.
Well, that's right. So do we have
And then you
a,
have interviews and
Yeah.
you're okay.
that's why we want to start now. Do we have a consensus that we move ahead on this? Or
So we don't need to have a motion to
Well-
advertise the job.
you want to make a motion, make a
We
motion?
do, Taylor?
Because the job's already in the plan, right?
As a director, we don't really follow the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying in reference.
That's the plan that was given to us for Paula. And I don't know if we can watch it.
No, but-
I would like to make a motion
Okay,
to put out a job description, for a job posting for a public safety manager as a full-time salary position with the District of Carleton North.
you have a second?
I'll second it.
Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded, carried. So thank you very much. And we'll get that out in a day or two, or tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully soon. Council statements. I'll start with Councillor Stewart, homeboy.
I attended the swim meet in Foxville. There was a big crowd and it was well organized. I attended the anniversary of the Hollinger. It was a good turnout. I helped with the last class of summer. And we now have a beautiful road in Centreville. Dexter did a nice job. And Richard Rozier made the daycare. It's very nice.
Good. Councillor Connor.
I'm writing it. I attended attended the 10th anniversary of the Juniper Community Center as well. It was a very nice celebration. My daughter got to present the lieutenant governor a present, so that was always special. The GCA, so Juniper Rec, and just enjoying the last few weeks of summer with my children.
Councilor
Had a couple of Balloon Fest meetings, things going well on that front. Had a meeting for the Trevor's Goodine Lumberjack competition, and Tilly picked up some logs for the Trevor's Goodine competition. Thanks to Ellen and Forestry for providing those logs. Thanks for all of our sponsors. Reminding people, all the people in attendance, that there are tickets available at riverbedfestivals.com. And Taylor wants one, and I know she wants to go up in a balloon.
I bought some
Good girl.
tickets on a balloon ride. I'm gonna go.
Good for you.
Way up high.
So, been just busy. It's been the last few weeks. It's been very busy. We've been working on some projects in Bath, and it's been busy. That's it.
Yeah. It's good. Councilor Dickinson?
I had a Trails Committee meeting and followed up with a UMNB meeting, which that was my first one. It's very interesting. And I think I'll try to get to more when we come up. So, some good information. That was it for me.
Good. Councilor Brasher?
I attended a Trails meeting. I also attended the great training session at the Glasgow Fire Hall. Had a good meeting out there. Attended a trail meeting with the District of Carleton. That was a great meeting. A meeting at the Correspondence Motor Inn for the Chefs on Fire, and attended an awards banquet yesterday for the Skedaddle Bridge Club.
How'd that go?
That was great. There was a good crowd there, and a lot of years put in for service.
Yeah, I see the pictures on Facebook. That was nice.
That's it.
Councilor Watson?
I took my kid to the airport because he went to Alberta. He came back, I went and picked him up. I did a lot of renos at my house, and I'm really tired, but it's fine. It's done. Question, the Lansdowne Road, is that in yours or no? Is that in Parkland? Lansdowne Road.
Which part of the
I
road?
think it depends on how far it
The
goes.
whole thing.
No.
Starting from the old Trans-Canada out.
Yeah, from the old Trans-Canada, it comes in District of Carleton North when you go around the turn by Donald's.
The Melville Road.
That's in Carleton North, the rest of that down to the river.
The rough part's out.
Yeah,
I
like
know
out
it's
by, Ross Quarries, out
Yeah,
that way.
but Ross,
Keep going out.
that from the river to the Donnelly's is in Carleton, coming up with the hill from Peel. But from there out, it's in ours, and that's
Okay,
in
'cause
Councilor
it
Connor.
needs to be mowed. It is horrible.
Oh, no?
The grass is this high on the sides of the road, literally, like.
It's rough
It
too.
is horrid. Somebody, whoever's it is, they need to get hold of DTI and get it mowed. It's a mess.
Yeah. Well, we can
That's
send a
fine.
note to DTI to look after.
It's a mess. It's.
Oh, I know. There's a
That's
long
it.
list of roads that are a mess, but
Yeah.
that is one of them.
Oh, yeah, it's like really high.
So, it is a DTI road, and it's in our district, but we'll send a note to
It is really high.
DTI manager.
We started fixing some culverts that we were kind of quietly requested on the back of the road today, to replace 4 culverts there. Yeah, it's completely unexpected when someone called and said, we're gonna do it today. Great.
Have we heard anything back with wild parsley or parsley? No.
That's it for me.
No,
Next.
Deputy Mayor Hardman?
I also attended the provincial swim meet at the Florida Pool on the 17th. The Carleton North Crackminster Cone banner. It was great. The whole parking lot was full. It was well done event. lots of volunteers. Thank you all to all the volunteers that were there. I attended the meeting with Gabby, our Economic and Community Development Manager, and Amy, our CAO. So we just talked about finalizing the timeline of recruitment for physicians. And so then we sent out what we finalized to all of council. And so the next steps were to start a physician welcome and retention committee, which is going to be led by Dr. Alison Tompkins, and Councillor Dickinson is going to sit on that as the council representative. And then the response to the letter that we read this morning, we also discussed that. And we also discussed the application for the library to replace the ramp. So it was submitted on July 23rd, and it can take 12 to 22 weeks to hear back, but they've also, our staff's already gotten quotes, so once they do get approval, we'll be able to start. And I'm excited for the Riverbend Balloon Fest. I wish everyone great weather, and I hope to catch it Thursday, and then I'm off to the 4-H provincial show in Fredericton with my daughters and a couple of chickens.
Do you have to take the chickens with you?
I have to take the chickens with us.
Good luck to the chickens.
Good luck to the chickens.
Is that good?
The chickens stay. The chickens not going to the hotel. The chickens stay at the barn.
The dog is pet friendly.
You're good?
I'm good.
So, yeah, it's been a busy, it's always busy, but I had a meeting last 2 weeks ago on Tuesday with Paul Knowles. He's a travel writer going through here, and there's an association of travel writers into Canada, and so they come, they write stories about the area, and then they submit them to tourism magazines and etc. So him and his wife are traveling through, so we met him I didn't at Pale World. He was coming down from New Denmark, and we did the art gallery, and he wanted to go to lunch, so I took him up with the art, and that was kind of different, obviously. And then he was on his way to Woodstock, and then Fred came back. So anyway, those articles will appear. He was really amazed with the Play-Doh World, and they took a tour. I didn't take him on a tour, but they did, and the history of the the Play-Doh and that sort of thing. So our CAO and I met with Carl Brown, the Juniper Fire Department Chief. It was a good meeting. So we're meeting with all the chiefs individually, just go through things and make sure everybody's in a good mood, and they all are, and they seem to be. And I want to give a shout out to Councillor Bradstreet, because I know that him and others had meetings with other department chiefs about performance, and they had a really good meeting with Glasgow with the fire department there. So that was good. So we had a Regional Service Commission meeting at the Vasey Center along with that UMNB meeting, just working through some priorities at the Regional Service Commission. So then attended the Upper Kent Rec Center Washer Toss Tournament and virtual swim meet at Florenceville, the 10th anniversary of the Juniper Community Center. It was really well attended. We had a meeting with Charlie and Peggy McDonald about the canteen operation. They signed an agreement to start on October 1st. And had a meeting with our CEO and Gabby Mann on housing. Had a meeting with our CEO and our treasurer on the finances and budgeting potentially as the time goes on. We had a trails meeting in Heartland, and that was really well. Nice, great meeting. And there's a further meeting scheduled, I think, with Skedaddle Ridge ATV Club. And they want to meet with both towns at the same time. So, and Councillor Bradstreet's kind of taking the lead on some of that, the trails. And I missed the trail meeting. I want to apologize publicly, but I had a good reason. I took my grandson fishing, and I fell asleep at 5 o'clock, and the meeting was at 6. So we did get some fish. So I do want to apologize, and at the next meeting for Trails Committee, I just couldn't make it. And I woke up at 10 after 6 and called the CEO. I was sound asleep. Anyway, I missed the meeting. So, but we did get fish, so we're good. So I attended a flyball event there at the Civic Center on Saturday. That was nice. No, there's not a lot of spectators, but there was a few there,
And of course, this year, I will say that it was down, they were down,
yeah,
I think Caroline said 9 teams.
yeah.
Or sorry, down 7 teams, they had 9 teams.
Yeah.
But due to the new guidelines that the border has put out, 7 of their teams weren't able to come. But they said they will be ready for next year, and she's already got more teams coming next year, so.
It's really nice to see. I mean, I don't think you'd sit there all day and watch him, but to see him for a half hour, an hour, it's kind of interesting. And to go meet, and they have breaks, and you can meet some of the owners of the dogs and have a chat. So it was good, and they did the end of the summer event at Centreville. That was really well done. I want to give our tourism staff, it's a kind of a new event, but it was well attended, you know, with lots of kids and lots of activities. So I had a drop by the Kin Center, Dave McLean's 80th birthday, and that was fun. And Dave is from Trace Mills. Doreen, she's a Mulherrin from Juniper, and all the group was there. And it was kind of fun. So this week's the Balloon Fest, obviously, and that starts, Thursday morning, right? But there's a whole bunch of things going on that weekend in Bath, Fairgrounds. Independent of the Balloon Fest, there's music and there's crafts markets. Yeah, big music on.
Is that not part of the whole Balloon Festival though?
It is.
It's all
but
one event.
It's all one big event, but
Yeah.
it's more than just
But the
balloons.
car show's a different committee
Yeah.
and.
So all weekend at the Bath Fairgrounds, Saturday and Sunday, there'll be activities, and so you should try to make
Sunday
it.
for kids especially.
Yeah. And then the Lumberjack event on Monday, I really want you to come to that. This is the #1 Lumberjack event in the Maritimes. And as a bonus, you can contribute $10 when you go through the gate, because our CAO and myself are going to be working the gate. And
It's the
Oh,
only
I
thing
thought you like we're gonna do some kind of competition or something. I'll pay $10.
Listen, I can get some more kindling and you
I
can
can
start
do
a fire.
okay. But spread the word, and it's a really good event. And we got the pavilion up now. We're going to have 2 more tents up for shade and hopefully not for rain, but because it was really hot last year and to keep people out of the sun. So they're making some improvements at the Bath Fairgrounds, and that's good. You know, and so that's all working pretty good. One other thing I wanted to mention is September 18th. There's going to be a Regional Service Commission has a public meeting in regards to the rezoning of Station Road here in Centreville. So that's September 18th. It's online. You can go onto the Regional Service Commission website and
That one's virtual?
virtual. We'll probably,
There's one in Stickney too.
yeah,
Yeah, there's one sticky.
Yeah,
that's with our council.
kids meeting, yeah.
Oh, that's with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that process is a process, but that's September 18th. And yeah, I just wanted to mention that, and we'll see.
So we haven't sold that property as of yet, or we have sold the property?
Which one?
The property at Penn Station.
No, we never bought it.
So,
It just went right directly to the Centreville Club.
so now we have to talk about the rezoning and they're
Well,
gonna,
yeah.
they're gonna tear down the building, or they already have?
Well, I don't know what their schedule is. Yeah.
So it has to be rezoned from residential to what?
Multi-use, mixed use, I think it's mixed users. So that's a separate process there.
I saw where
The Stoneville Club owns that property now. But they started the rezoning process a month or so, but it takes a month to get it in motion in terms of, the subdivision plan, that's good. So, anyway, that's all good, and people can have voice their concerns or whatever they want to do, comments. Yeah, and you can do that you can do it on Facebook too, but it's really nice to go to the meeting and do it at the meeting if you have a chance. So I encourage everybody to have questions to go to that meeting, or virtual. Yeah. That's all I have.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When's our ice due to go in the arena?
September 23rd.
Wow.
Yeah. And this last week of students, obviously,
Yes. Students are done on
the pools close on the 30th, and things are and stuff. So, yeah, that's my report. So, any other questions for that?
Can I mention one thing quick? Sorry.
Yeah.
The bridge in Florenceville, the little bridge is closed. Just people have been stealing the wood, the railings that the departments put on the bridge to protect people that are walking. So we put in a complaint with DTI. Apparently they called the RCMP, but just be careful if you're walking on the bridge because now there's no protection from falling over into the river. You can post inside. So
they're stealing or they're kicking it over?
no, they're stealing
They're
it.
stripping it. Yeah, basically,
We've
one
got a-
piece at a time. Just like John
Margaret
said.
says 18 2x4s, 9 2x6s.
Yeah, so,
It's like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
When I get building.
so anyway,
We
that's.
just got a lot of complaints is all.
Is that, that's not up to us to put anything on there for caution?
What's that?
That's not up to us for any caution or?
No, it's on our bridge. And they'll have to come, they may have to come blockade it off, I don't, that's up to them. It really, it's totally up to them, whatever they want to do with that bridge.
But if the safety railing is missing, then we should recommend, or should we write them?
But I think
has
there's,
something
if,
there
there's
Not Margaret
fencing,
Square, but obviously you're talking.
there's fencing
There's
there
mesh
too.
fencing there.
There's a mesh
Mesh
fence,
fence.
But
so.
We notified DTI, right?
we did, yes.
No, mesh fence has been there for years. But they've added these 2x4s up above as another protection. So if they want to jump, they're gonna have to climb up 8 feet. Instead of 4.
And we haven't heard anything about the bridge, obviously, it's really a dead issue. So the other update is on the old Trans-Canada, just above the Florence and Mortar Inn, going towards Heartland. There's those 2 bad bumps coming towards town. So I hit one the other day, actually, I was over too far there, but it's quite a bump. As it gets less as you get closer to the middle, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I called Jason Derry, now is the new DPI superintendent of Woodstock, took over Timmy Martin's position. So I called Jason and just said, listen, you need to fill those in, or, I mean, it's too late now to dig them up this year, probably, but fill them in at least with asphalt, and that'll get through another season, and really, they need a permanent fix, both those culverts.
Well, I called them back in May, and it's collapsing, so filling it in, if it collapses, if one of them goes down, someone's going to hole.
Yeah, so anyway, they'll
Yeah, 2 of them are quite bad. I think there's 3.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know
There's
there
one
was
just
2.
very minimal.
So the other thing we could do is, in our list that we sent in to the province in February or whatever, for provincial roads, we could ask for an update on that and see what they did this year. I don't know.
Because you can't really get down to the end of it and look at it because of the hogweed.
Yeah,
We'll beat your way through that.
but anyway, we might ask them to give us a
Crossing your own.
But no, they're going to be paving in Juniper, I think, in the middle of September.
Really?
Yeah.
People have been asking.
Yeah. Because they got to go do the full cycle, the full depth recycle, and then they're going to lay that back down, and then they put the asphalt on top of that. So
What are you doing that road?
there's a section forced into Big Ridge, 3.3 kilometers. 107.
The part that we drove over.
Yeah,
The council meeting.
Briefly
Yeah.
over.
So,
I mean, it's definitely needed. It needs to be done clear back in the garden.
oh yeah. So, if all that being said, we can take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Contrary minded, carried.